I'm coming to you today, fresh out of meditation. Felt called to continue the conversation about talking about surrender and the power of truly letting go and letting God. So much here to say, but yet not much to say at all. And I may be referencing the term God, but this is not from a religious perspective or from any sort of doctrine or dogma that I'm following. It's more about a universal term that refers to the all-encompassing idea of something so much greater than ourselves, right? Our angels, the universe, this beautiful infinite oneness that we are all connected to is what I am referring to in the regards of God. And surrender is just such a beautiful, beautiful topic to discuss and to continue to discuss. And it'll be something that I continue to discuss because it is probably one of the most beautiful lessons that we have to learn here on Earth as these beautiful beings that we are. And I don't know about you, but for this year has been the biggest test of surrender of my personal life in a long, long time, if not ever. And I think for a lot of people, this year is requiring of people to, bring all their stuff up to the surface to be evaluated and analyzed and decided, is this life serving me? Are these ways of operating serving me? Or do I need to let go? Do I need to release? Do I need to surrender to something bigger and better and more aligned? And so much of the beautiful work that I feel called to do with myself and with women is to really find that sweet spot of alignment and to find that place of peace in our heart so that we can get to that place of connection to universal oneness, to that source energy, to that power and greatness of infinite potential and infinite wisdom, so that we can go out and be better versions of ourselves for the world, for our partners, for our family, for our friends, for everyone, right? But to be able to really step into that beautiful place of our highest alignment and highest self, we have to allow ourselves to move out of our own way in these obstacles and these challenges that can sometimes be so all-encompassing and so all-consuming, where we just get wrapped up into the craziness, into the headspace, into the cloud of thoughts and experiences and dramas, the melodrama, as Michael Singer likes to say, the melodrama of our life, right? But when we can take that second to step out of our life and zoom out for a second and recognize, oh gosh, this is not everything. This is not it. This is not all of it. This is truly just me getting caught up in the mind. But when I give myself that space to detach and pull back, I can start to see the real truth here. And the real truth is that I am not my mind. I am not the culmination of experiences that is before me here. I am so much more than what my mind allows me to see. And when we zoom back, we start to see these little moments that got us so rattled and so riled up and so aggravated and frustrated and sad and upset. And we can start to see them more objectively. And we can start to take our power back. And we can start to let go of the grips, the holds that it has on us. And that is really the beautiful essence of surrender. Letting go of the grips of the melodrama of the mind and zooming back into recalibrating and reconnecting to the infinite power of ourself and our soul that is beyond what even the mind can comprehend. And I know that it's really deep to go into this space, but it's such truth. And it feels so juicy just to even speak this way, to even realize that there is so much more to the everyday that we live besides what we're able to see in our physical reality. And when I really tap back into that, it brings me back to that place of peace instantly. It brings me into that place of just true connection, feeling like I'm not alone, feeling like there is a bigger purpose to my life than just what I see before me. And knowing and connecting into the realization that I am so divinely supported, and that each of us are so divinely supported. And that if we truly knew that, and if we truly believed and recognized that we were okay no matter what happened, that we could breathe easy, that we could relax, and that we could really trust the unfolding, even if it felt completely off, right? Even if the timing of things felt off, even if the people that we had in our life were not doing what we wanted or didn't, weren't continuing to be in our life, if we could trust that every single one of those moments was for a specific purpose and that we could zoom out of that and be the observer of it versus being the player of it all the time, imagine the relief that you could feel. And this is the constant practice of surrender. I had a woman come to me wanting to work with me and feeling like she was telling me, I just want to give up. I just want to give up. Just everything in my life just feels so intense and so heavy, and I just can't do it anymore. I just need to give up. And I said, good. I said, good. This is important. I guess I can open my eyes now. This is important. It's important for you to be able to let go. It's important for you to be able to truly allow this to be your breakdown before the breakthrough. This is you recognizing, I can't do it anymore, not from a place of needing to give up on life, but from a place of the ego mind saying, I can't do it anymore. This is truly the moment where we have an ego death. And the ego saying, I just can't control life anymore. It's just too much. It's too hard. And that's where we get to say, okay, good. Don't do it anymore. Don't let your ego be the one that drives you anymore. Let faith carry you through this moment. Let go of needing to have it all work out the way that your mind wants it to work out, and come back to that faith that things are always working out for you without you even needing to control it. Right? And this is the beauty of it. This is the beauty of it is that when we actually let go in that moment of just complete breakdown, right? And I've been there so many times. You get into that place of just so intense, I cannot do it anymore, right? This is not you speaking. This is the ego in your mind saying, I can't control any more things. Things are not working. This is your opportunity to surrender. This is your opportunity to kill the ego in its form at this moment, because the person that you are being called to be cannot continue with this operating system, cannot continue with this ego driving the show, cannot continue with you and your little human existence trying to drive everything. You get to let go. You get to give up. You get to surrender. And when you surrender, this is the moment when you stop letting yourself be controlled by the human existence, and you start allowing yourself to be guided by divine existence. Ooh. Oh. And I know for all of you watching this on video, my eyes are closed, and the reason my eyes are closed is because of this exact thing. I wanted to record this as a video so that we can really have that connection, but I also recognize that sometimes my ego too can get in the way, and I start worrying about, oh gosh, how am I looking, how am I coming off, what's the background, blah blah blah, all the stuff. And I don't want that to get in the way of this message. I want to be able to channel this message from the truth, from head to heart, without getting in the way of the ego. And that's taken some practice for me to be able to filter that out while still having my eyes open. Right? And that's okay. That's okay, because this is a constant practice for all of us. But the truth is important here, right? When we start to let go of the ego and the mind trying to filter our experience and filter the way that we need to show up for the world, and we just let ourselves be how we need to be for the world, that's when we can start really being clicked into that highest alignment, into that highest version of our essence, of ourself. And when we do that, that's when we feel like we come home. That's when we come back to that beautiful presence of our soul, of our oasis within our hearts, within our souls. And that is the most beautiful, beautiful place. I want you right now to just take a second, put your hand on your heart, and just feel this presence right here. Maybe take a big deep breath too, and just feel it. Just feel it and notice how it feels. How does it feel to just feel this space in your heart? I don't know about for you, but for me, it feels really, really grounding. It feels like something comes alive, like it lights up. I feel connected in a way that I can't even describe. I just feel like, there she is. Right? There she is. And I want each of you to remember and know that this space right here is your home. This is the place you get to come back to always. This is the place when the mind starts to go crazy and take over and not feel good enough, not feel like it's in control, not feel like anything's going your way, trying to overthink, trying to overanalyze, overstressing everything. This is when you get to just come back home for a second. Just take a time out. And tell your mind to take a time out, right? And just say, you know what? Let's just breathe for a second. Yeah. And when we do that, we get a chance to really recenter and remind ourselves of what's really important here. And what's really important is feeling at peace. Because when we feel at peace, we can manage and deal with all of the external stuff a lot easier. We can objectively take each piece one by one, all the overwhelming things, and start to really check in and say, okay, what's really important here, right? And what can I delegate? And what can I let go of? And what can I just surrender to God, right? What can I just surrender and say, you know what, God, you take it. I don't want to handle it anymore. I really want to get over there. I really want this to happen, but I can't figure it out anymore in my own little human brain. I need more help. I need divine intervention, right? Please guide me. Please help me. Please give me those little intuitive nudges, those those inspired actions. Help align all the pieces, right? And it does. When we ask for help, it does. Have you ever noticed those little synchronicities in life where all of a sudden you're just like, oh my gosh, I talked about wanting to become a speaker, and now here I am being gifted this 5-week speaker training. That's what's been happening for me lately. It's like, oh my gosh, like, thank you. There's no way that this cannot be divine intervention. I didn't even try, and it just landed in my lap, right? Those kinds of little moments are the magic. Those are the magical moments that we get to appreciate and admire and enjoy. Kind of like licking an ice cream cone, right? Abraham Hicks talks about if we have to enjoy the journey. If life was an ice cream cone, we don't want to just like eat the whole thing in one bite and be like, great, got through the ice cream cone, yum, that was delicious. We want to take our time. We want to like savor every lick, every little nibble of it, every little drip down the side of our hands, and every little nibble of the cone, right? Every little bit of this is our opportunity to enjoy the process of eating the ice cream, enjoying the process of living this life. And when we can zoom out of the melodrama of the mind, we can start to really come back into the recognition that we get to do this life on purpose. And we get to create the life that we want. We don't have to live in a reactionary mode. We get to come back to the place of truly aligned action and inspired action and flow. Flow only comes when we let go of the resistance. When we let go of the working so hard and the hustling so hard and the trying and the pushing and the driving. So if you've been in that moment where you are just getting to that point of just like, I cannot do it anymore. I give up. I want to give up. I just, please, like, tap me out, right? When you get into those moments, just really recognize that for what that is. That is your moment. That is your calling. That is your ask here to truly surrender. And you may even want to drop down to your knees and get into child's pose and truly allow your body to just surrender, right? There's a moment where one time I was in the shower and I just felt like in the shower I just had to drop to my knees and surrender and just allow that hot water to just pour on me and just flow down me and just get to this point of just letting all my cares be washed away, so that I could just come out of the shower refreshed and cleansed and ready to be open to receive. That's really my invitation to each of you today. And I'm so happy to be able to have this moment. I'm so happy to be able to have this platform to be able to speak to each of you. I'm excited to be able to continue to play with these kinds of messages. Something I've been really deepening into. I don't know if any of you have ever read A Course in Miracles. This book has been so life-changing already. And I mean, it's a heavy text. It's a big text. It's an equivalent of a Bible or a Torah or a Quran, but it's not a religious text. It's a spiritual text. But it's been just helping me to even deepen my own awareness and my own intuitive guidance and my own connection to what it really means to live a life on purpose and to live a life of miracles. Right? And to live a life of miracles is really to let go of the need to live a life of a human experience and to start to live a life of a truly spiritual, divine, angelic experience. And I'm even more just deepening into this realization that we are so much more than we give ourselves credit for. We are so much more than just being these little human beings running around in the rat race of our lives. We are truly angels here on earth to do beautiful, miraculous things. And one of the gifts that I'm here to do is to continue to share these messages with you. So that is my morning message to each of you this morning. Good morning. I love my little cup. Love is the answer. I saw this cup at a thrift store. I was like, that's my cup. So anyways, my lovelies, hope you have a beautiful morning. And let me know what really stuck out to you from this message. Let me know what some of your biggest takeaways were from this conversation. And really let me know how you choose to step forward as you choose to let go and surrender. And even as I'm saying it, it's a choice. How you choose to. You get to choose to do this. No one's going to force you. No one's going to make you. And no one's going to tell you. Life may tell you by getting really, really, really challenging, but no one's going to tell you when to surrender. You get to choose when you want to do that. So it's up to you. Sending you so much love today.